Hello and welcome to Unacademy, a one-stop destination for all English medium UPSC aspirants. Welcome to Conquer Prelims 2024. This is second session in Science and Technology. But before we start the session, a very important announcement. As the prelims exam is approaching, you must be curious to know where you stand at the national level competition and want to know your level of preparation. For that, we are organizing Unacademy All India Prelims Mock Test 2024 on 26th May. The exam will be conducted in two papers, Paper 1 GS at 9:30 AM and Paper 2 CSAT at 2:30 PM. The questions have been curated by the topmost educators at Unacademy. Register for the test free of cost and all the best for the exam. Let us start the discussion now. The question number 1. Read the questions and the statements and consider all the choices carefully. You have 60 seconds time and your time starts now. Good evening all of you. Welcome to the second session. Participate in the poll. You have 60 seconds to solve this. Hope all of you are participating in the poll. Yes. Let us start the discussion. First of all, the right answer for the question is D, 2 and 3. What percentage gave the right answer? 20% of the students gave the right answer. The choice is D. 18% students gave the right answer. Okay, right. But as we have done yesterday, before we discuss the question, let us try to understand some important concepts given in the statements. So first of all, what do you mean by mRNA? What is transcription? What is in vitro? What is in vivo? And what is an RNA vaccine? Okay, what is an mRNA vaccine? Okay, so let us try to understand all these things. Okay, so first of all, in a cell, our genetic material is in the form of, yes, all of you, our genetic material is in the form of DNA or RNA. The genetic material is in the form of DNA. So, our genes are in the form of DNA. Genes are in the form of DNA. But a gene, that is a DNA, will first get converted into mRNA. The word mRNA stands for messenger RNA. Messenger RNA. In a process called as, yes, everybody, in a process called as transcription. And then the mRNA gets converted into a protein in a process called as translation. In a process called as translation. This mRNA is nothing but messenger RNA because it will contain the message about which protein is to be synthesized. Whether insulin protein is to be synthesized or hemoglobin protein or a viral protein. So this mRNA will have information about which protein is to be synthesized. Therefore, it is called as the messenger RNA. That is about the messenger RNA and transcription. Now let us see the meaning of the word in vitro, in vivo. Okay, tell me the meaning if you know. What do you mean by in vitro? The word in vitro means in the laboratory. And what do you mean by in vivo? In vivo means in the living organisms. Inside the living organisms. Right? Okay. Now we are going to discuss about this mRNA production in vitro and in vivo. Okay. So let us suppose when this mRNA is produced in vitro, when this mRNA is produced in vitro, there are no chemical modifications to it. Is it clear? There are no chemical modifications to it. Okay. But when this mRNA is synthesized in vivo, inside the living organisms, there are some chemical modifications to it. There are some chemical modifications to it. Is it clear? Yes. Answer this question. If this mRNA is synthesized, in the laboratory, are there any chemical modifications occurring to the mRNA? If the mRNA is synthesized in the laboratory, are there any chemical modifications occurring to the mRNA? No. Very good. But if the mRNA is synthesized inside the living organisms, are there any chemical modifications occurring to it? If the mRNA is synthesized inside the living organisms, there are some chemical modifications occurring to it. So, based on this information, tell me, is a mRNA synthesized in vitro, in vivo exactly the same or both are different? Based on this explanation, is the mRNA synthesized in vitro, in vivo, both are same or they both are different? Different. Very good. Okay. Now read the first statement. The mRNA transcribed either in vitro or in vivo can produce the same proteins. The mRNA synthesized in vitro or in vivo can produce the same proteins. Means they both are the same. Is the first statement correct? Is the first statement correct? The first statement is not correct because the mRNA synthesized in vitro, in vivo is not the same. Okay. Now let us try to understand about the mRNA vaccines. We are discussing about mRNA vaccines. Use the word once. mRNA vaccines. So here what we do is, let us suppose you have SARS coronavirus 2. You have SARS coronavirus 2. Step 1, we take its mRNA. We take its mRNA. Okay. Then step 2, we kind of synthesize it. We kind of synthesize it in vitro. We synthesize this in vitro. And then what we do is, we inject it. We inject it as the vaccine. Remember this step by step. Step 1, we isolated the mRNA from the coronavirus. Step 2, we synthesized it, we copied it. We made multiple copies of this mRNA in vitro, that is in the laboratory. Step 3, we injected this mRNA into the human body. As an injection, we have injected the mRNA. Okay. So now tell me, in the mRNA vaccine, are we injecting the virus or one protein of the virus or its mRNA? Which is correct? In the mRNA vaccine, are we injecting the whole virus or one protein from the virus or its mRNA? Very good. We are injecting its mRNA. Okay. And as we have understood like this here, this mRNA should get converted into what? Proteins. Okay. So who will produce the proteins? The human will produce. Human body produces the viral protein. Is it clear? Yes. Who will produce the viral protein? Human body will produce the viral protein, not the B cells. Human body, like say for example, our lung cells will produce. Our lung cells will produce the viral proteins. Okay, then next step what happens? Okay, the immune system will produce antibodies for this viral proteins. Antibodies for the viral proteins. Okay, so here comes the B cells. Is it clear? B cells will produce the antibodies for the viral proteins. B cells are not producing the viral proteins. They produce antibodies for the viral proteins. So once again I repeat the procedure. Step 1, we collect the mRNA from the virus and we manufacture its mRNA in vitro in the laboratory. And then we inject the mRNA into the human body as a vaccination. Then the human cells, like human lung cells, will produce that coronaviral protein. And then the immune system, that is the B cells, will start producing antibodies for that coronaviral proteins, so that we are ready with the weapons to fight with the coronavirus. What are these antibodies? These antibodies are nothing but the weapons to fight with the coronavirus. Is it clear? So we will not get the coronavirus infection. This is the principle in mRNA vaccine. Is the principle in the mRNA vaccine clear for all of you? Now read the second statement. In mRNA vaccines, the viral mRNA made in vitro is injected as a vaccine and human cells will produce the viral proteins for which antibodies are produced by the immune system. Is the second statement correct? Yes, the second statement is correct. Okay, the third statement. mRNA can be injected as a drug to produce any proteins that are missing in certain diseases. Okay, let us take some examples for this. Okay, right here, for example, you have dwarfism. What is dwarfism? Very short. Okay, so here growth hormone is missing. Is it clear? Growth hormone is missing. Right? Why they are short? Growth hormone is missing. So here what we can do? Inject mRNA for growth hormone so that the patient will produce growth hormone. Is it clear? So that the patient will produce the growth hormone, so that there will be a treatment for the dwarfism. Is it clear? So, according to this explanation, which is written in green color, read the third statement. mRNA can be injected as a drug. What is the drug here? Growth hormone. For dwarfism, what is the medicine? Growth hormone. Because what is missing in the case of dwarfism? The growth hormone is missing. So, the drug is growth hormone itself. Okay, but we are not injecting the growth hormone. Is it clear? Are we injecting the growth hormone or the mRNA that produce the growth hormone? Are we injecting the growth hormone or the mRNA that produce the growth hormone? We are injecting the mRNA. Then the human body, the patient himself will produce the growth hormone and the disease can be treated. This is called as mRNA therapy. This is called as mRNA therapy. See, logically, when we can produce viral protein from the mRNA, why can't we produce our own growth hormone from the mRNA? Yes. So, this is also possible. mRNA can be injected as a drug, as a medicine to produce any proteins that are missing in certain diseases. Is the statement correct? The third statement is correct? Yes. Then, now, another concept. All cells of the organisms have the same transcriptome. All cells of the organism will have same transcriptome. Okay. So, we have to now try to understand what is a transcriptome. Okay. Use the word once. Transcriptome. What is the transcriptome? It is the total set of all RNAs in a cell. Total set of all RNAs in a cell is called transcriptome. Okay, why the word transcriptome? Because RNA is produced by a process called as transcription. RNA is produced by a process called as transcription. So the total set of RNAs is called as a transcriptome. Is it clear? Now answer this question. Okay. Do hair cell and blood cell produce same proteins or different proteins? Do hair cell and blood cell produce the same proteins or different proteins? Different proteins. So, do they both have same set of mRNAs or a different set of RNAs? Do they both have same set of RNAs or a different set of RNAs? Different set, because they have to produce different proteins. So therefore, all cells of the same organism do not have the same transcriptome. But here it is stated that all cells of an organism have same transcriptome. So this is a wrong statement. And the right answer is 2 and 3. I hope it is clear. All these are very deep concepts. At least some 5-6 concepts we covered in this particular question, isn't it? So D is the right answer. Can we move on? Same code. Okay, but all cells will produce different mRNAs and all cells will produce different proteins from that. Okay, then why are we discussing this topic? Why these are in the news? Okay, this is about the 2023 Nobel Prize in Medicine. 2023 Nobel Prize in Medicine. Okay, so these people got the Nobel Prize that. Okay, the dendritic cells. There is another topic here. Okay, it is very difficult because I am explaining at least 5-6 different concepts. So listen very carefully, complete focus here. Okay, so these two scientists, what they have done, they noticed that dendritic cells, use the word once. Dendritic cells. What are dendritic cells? Some cells of the immune system. Not the brain cells. There are some cells of the immune system. Is it clear? Okay. So, they recognize in vitro transcribed mRNA as a foreign substance. Why did these people get the Nobel Prize? Why the people got the Nobel Prize? Because they discovered that the immune cells are recognizing in vitro synthesized RNA as a foreign material. Because I told you the reason here. We discussed the reason here. In vitro synthesized RNA, no chemical modifications. In vivo synthesized, there are chemical modifications. In vivo synthesized, there are chemical modifications. So these people identified that the immune cells are recognizing the in vitro synthesized mRNA as a foreign material. It means my own mRNA, but it is synthesized in the laboratory. My body is considering it as foreign. I repeat, my own mRNA, but I synthesize it in the laboratory and my immune system is considering it as a foreign material. This is the discovery for which they got the Nobel Prize. I repeat, my own mRNA but synthesized artificially in the laboratory and my immune system is recognizing it as foreign. So they understood that some chemical modifications are occurring to the mRNA when you make it in vivo. They are not occurring when you make it in vitro. For this particular discovery, they got the Nobel Prize in Medicine for the year 2023. Okay, so this is the reason why we are discussing this topic. I hope this topic is clear. Okay, right. Now, moving on to the next question. Next question. This is also difficult. Okay, the question is right in front of you. Read the question carefully. You have 60 seconds to go. Your time starts now. Same code for proteins. So, is there possibility in the first statement? Yes, mRNA code is the same, Tushar, but some chemical modifications are occurring to it, like methyl group is added or acetyl group is added. Code is the same, AUGC sequence is the same, but some chemical modifications are occurring to that mRNA when it is made in the living organisms. Tushar, I hope you got this. Code is same, but some chemical modifications are occurring when it is made inside the body, right? Yes. You're able to hear me? Okay. Second question, I hope you are participating in the poll. Yes. Okay, the right answer for the question is C. Okay, the right answer for the question is C. 1, 2 and okay, 4 are the correct answers. 1, 2 and 4 are the correct answers. 26% gave the right answer. 26% gave the right answer. Yes, listening for the first time. Okay, so let us see what are these obelisks. Okay, we have to understand what are the obelisks, and we have to know what is the gut and mouth microbiome. What is microbiome? Okay, what is normal flora? Okay, so these are the concepts that we have to understand first. Let us first try to understand the word normal flora. Normal flora. Use the word once. What is this normal flora? They are the friendly bacteria. They are the friendly bacteria. We have it all over the body. We have it all over the body. Importantly, in the mouth and the gut. Gut means the digestive system. Importantly, in the mouth and the gut. Gut means the digestive system. Okay. These bacteria actually help in digesting the food. They help in digesting the food. And they fight with pathogens. They fight with pathogens. Okay. And they produce vitamins for us. They produce vitamins for us. Okay. And okay, so like that they help in several different means. This is in general about the normal flora. We also call this as microbiome. We call this as microbiome. Biome means what? The total set of living organisms, and we call this as microbiome. Is it clear? Okay. And now we have to understand what are these obelisks. What are these obelisks? These are the new genetic entities called as obelisk. They have recently been discovered where inside the bacteria inhabiting the human gut and mouth. Okay. Based on this, let us see your observation. Are the obelisks found? Are the obelisks found inside the human being or the friendly bacteria inside the human being? Do we have obelisks in the humans or in the friendly bacteria, in the gut microbiome? Yes? Okay, obelisks are inside the gut microbiome. Obelisks are inside the gut microbiome. Is it clear? What are they doing? Okay, did you get this doubt? We have the immune system, isn't it? We have the immune system. Immune system will always fight with foreign antigens, isn't it? Immune system will fight with the foreign antigens. Is it clear? Not our own antigens. Okay. In this foreign antigens, you have two types. This friendly microbiome, and we also have pathogens. This friendly microbiome, and we also have the pathogens. Is it clear? Good and bad both. Okay, foreign antigens, some of them are good, they are helping us, some of them are pathogens. Okay, so did you get this doubt? How the friendly microbiome is escaping from the immune system? Is the point clear? Somehow the friendly microbiome is escaping from the immune system. Means immune system is not destroying them. Immune system is not destroying them. Immune system is only destroying the pathogens. Is it clear? So, the recent discovery is the obelisks are, they may interact with the host immunity to potentially protect bacteria against antibiotics and the viruses. Is it clear? Okay, antibodies, antibiotics and the viruses. Okay, so tell me, what is the function of this obelisk? Okay, first point, obelisks are present in the gut and mouth microbiome, that is the friendly bacteria. Okay, and one advantage of the obelisk is they are helping this gut microbiome to escape the host cell immune system, so that the host cell immune system is not destroying the friendly bacteria, but it is destroying only the disease causing pathogens. Is the function of the obelisk clear? Is the function of the obelisk clear? Then next point about obelisks, they are like viruses. They are like viruses, but not exactly viruses. They are like viruses, but not exactly viruses. What is the difference? Obelisks comprise of an RNA and proteins that allow them to self-replicate inside the bacteria. These obelisks can replicate themselves inside the bacteria, but unlike viral sequences which exhibit diversity, obelisk gene perform the same function. It means viruses are different varieties, but all obelisks are similar. What is one difference between virus and obelisk? Viruses are different varieties of viruses we have, but obelisks are all similar. They have only one function, that is to protect this bacteria from the host cell immunity. Is it clear? That is to protect the bacteria from the host cell immunity. Secondly, obelisk can propagate vertically from the parent to offspring through the bacteria. It means what? Let us suppose I have some friendly bacteria. I repeat the point. Viruses are different varieties of viruses. Like say for example, coronavirus is different from dengue virus or rabies virus. But obelisks are all similar. We do not have much diversity in the obelisks. Is it clear for all of you? CR7, is it clear? We have different varieties of viruses, but obelisks are all similar. They perform the same function. What is that function? They are protecting the friendly bacteria from the host cell immune system. Yes, what is the function? They are protecting the friendly bacteria from the host cell immune system. That is the function. Second point, they can get inherited from the parent to the child. It means if my bacteria have obelisk, my daughter will get the same obelisks through this friendly bacteria. This bacteria will go from the mother to child, and these obelisks also will go from the mother to the child. They will also get inherited from the mother to the child. Is it clear? Right. And they also integrate loosely with the bacterial genome rather than disrupting the normal cell mechanisms. Right. Let us see this last function, last difference between obelisk and the virus. See, for example, if a virus infect a cell, it will disrupt the host cell function. It will disrupt the host cell function, but obelisks do not disrupt the host cell function, And what are the host cells for obelisk? The host cell for obelisks are the bacteria. Is it clear? I repeat all the differences. First, viruses are having a lot of diversity. We have different types of viruses, but obelisks are all similar. This is first difference. Second difference, okay, obelisk can get inherited from the mother to the daughter through these bacteria. Obelisk can get inherited from the mother to the daughter, I mean parent to the child through the bacteria. The third difference is viruses will disrupt the host cell mechanism, but the obelisks do not disturb the host cell mechanism. They will not disrupt the host cell. They will not damage the host cell. So these are the differences between obelisk and the virus. Is it clear? These are the difference between obelisk and the viruses. Okay, so that is about the obelisks. Now, coming to the question. Let us discuss the question now. Obelisks are the new genetic entities. They are the new genetic entities that have been discovered recently inside the, not inside the human cells, inside the bacteria inhabiting the human gut and mouth. Correct. Obelisk help the gut and mouth microbiome to escape the host immune response. They will help the friendly bacteria to escape the immune response of the human beings. Correct. Obelisk help the microbiome to produce vitamins for the human beings. No. Actually, the friendly bacteria will produce vitamins, but the obelisks are not helping in the process. I repeat, the friendly bacteria will produce vitamins. Gut microbiome will produce vitamins, but obelisks are not helping in the process. Okay, is it clear? Obelisk help the normal flora to better compete with the pathogens. Yes. Why? Okay, because the pathogens will get damaged, destroyed by the immune system, but the friendly bacteria do not get destroyed by the immune system because obelisks are helping them. Obelisk help the friendly bacteria to fight with the immune system, but they are not helping the pathogens. So therefore, obelisk can compete better with the pathogens. Pathogens are dying. This normal flora is not dying. The friendly bacteria is not dying. So is the fourth statement correct? Can't they see? Okay. Is the fourth statement correct? Yes. Okay. So the right answer is C, and the correct statements are, okay, the correct statements are, okay, 1, 2 and 4. The correct statements are 1, 2 and 4. Okay, how obelisk do it? The mechanism is not very clear, and also you need not know the mechanism for UPSC exam. Maybe the biotechnology graduates and all will study that, but you don't need it at that much level. The mechanism, how, this is a new discovery. The mechanism how they are helping the microbiome is not yet clear. Okay, right. Moving on to the next question. The third question is here. Question number 3, obelisk itself is in the news. Question number 3, read the statements carefully and your time starts now. Don't give the answers in the chat box. Participate in the poll, everyone. Done? Okay. The right answer is D. The right answer is D. 3 and 4 are the correct answers. So now let us try to discuss this. Before we discuss the question, let us try to understand the basic concepts given in the statements. First of all, why are we discussing it? Okay, you must have studied this. The Nobel Prize in Chemistry 2023 is for quantum dots, for the discovery and manufacture of quantum dots. These are the scientists who got the Nobel Prize for the year 2023 in chemistry, okay, for the quantum dots. Is it clear? The Nobel Prize in Chemistry for 2023 year is for which topic? For the discovery and synthesis of quantum dots. That is the reason why we are discussing this topic. Okay. And first of all, what are the quantum dots? Quantum dots are very small, semiconducting, nanocrystals, nano-sized crystals, or the nanoparticles. They are made up of elements like silicon, cadmium selenide, cadmium sulfide, etc. Okay? They are very small quantum particles. They are very small quantum particles and they are semiconducting, made up of the material like silicon, cadmium selenide, cadmium sulfide, etc. Okay? And they range in size from 2 to 10 nanometers. Whereas, okay, a nanoparticle definition. What is a nanoparticle? Nanoparticle definition is any particle of the size range 1 to 100 nanometers. Any particles of the size range 1 to 100 nanometers. Then, what are the quantum dots? Their size range is 2 to 10 nanometers. Their size range is 2 to 10 nanometers. So, can I say that quantum dots are very small nanoparticles? Quantum dots are very small nanoparticles. So, this statement is correct. Quantum dots are relatively smaller nanoparticles. Is the third statement clear for all of you? Yes. Okay. Then, these semiconducting material can absorb the light. They can absorb the light and they can release the light. But they absorb one color light and release another color light. Which light they release depends on their size. Which color light they release depends on their size. Is it clear? Okay. And the color depends on the size and material of the quantum dot. Okay. And larger the size of the dot, lower the energy of the light waves resulting in the redder light. And smaller the dot, bluer will be the color. It means in the whip jar, okay, so the smaller the dot, bluer will be the light. Okay, smaller dot, bluer will be the light. What do you mean by bluer? Towards the blue color. And what do you mean by redder? Larger the dot, redder will be the light. Redder means what? Towards the red color. Towards the red color. Is it clear? This is one information. But what is the reason for this? Okay, I mean, what is the reason why the larger particles appear in red color and larger particles appear in the blue color? Due to a phenomenon called as quantum confinement. Use the word once. Due to a phenomenon called as quantum confinement. Okay, what do you mean by quantum confinement? Okay, when the particle size decreases, okay, the electrons will get crowded crowded in the atom. Is it clear? Electrons will get crowded in the atom. Like say for example, like people in a crowded city bus. Is the example clear? As the particle size decreases, the electrons will get crowded, suffocated. There are so many electrons, but the space for the electrons is very little. Just like how do we feel? We feel suffocated, we feel congested, okay, in a very much crowded city bus. I hope the comparison is clear. So here what happens is, okay, I hope you all know that in an atom there will be a nucleus, and around the nucleus there will be orbitals. Yes, tell me, what are they called as? Orbitals, or they are also called as energy levels. They are also called as energy levels. Okay, and they are also called as bands. These are the different words. Is it clear? Orbitals, energy levels, bands. And the electrons are orbiting around the nucleus in these orbitals. Okay, electrons are orbiting around the nucleus in these orbitals. These bands are two types. Okay, valence band, which is low energy level. What do you call the low energy level as? Everybody, what do you call the low energy level? Valence band. This one is called valence band. And what do you call the high energy level as? Conduction band. High energy level is called as conduction band. High energy level, low energy level. Is it clear? Now, when you give energy to this atom, when you give energy to this atom from the external sources, the electron will jump from dash to dash. I want everybody to answer. When we give energy from outer sources to this atom, the electron will jump from, the electron will get excited or jump from valence band to conduction band. Is it clear? Right. But when this electron jumps back, from conduction band to valence band, okay, when this electron jump back from conduction band to valence band, what happens to the energy? The energy is utilized or released? The energy is utilized or released? The energy is released. The energy is released. Now, we were discussing about what is quantum confinement. Continue to listen very carefully. Quantum confinement we are trying to discuss. Let us suppose, and we compared it with what? We compared it with, okay, the people in a crowded city bus. We compared it with the people in a crowded city bus. Now, answer this question. Do I need more energy to push a person in a crowded city bus or in an empty city bus? I want to push a person. I wanted to push a person. Do I need more energy to push this person in a crowded city bus or a vacant city bus? In a crowded city bus, how much ever I push, you will not fall down because other people will obstruct you. Is it clear? How much ever I push you, you will not move ahead because other people will obstruct you. In a crowded bus, we need more energy to push a person. Same way, okay, in a very small particle, the electrons are crowded, isn't it? The electrons are crowded. So you need more energy to push the electron from valence band to conduction band. Is it clear? In a very small particle, okay, you need more energy to push an electron from the valence band to the conduction band. Same way, more energy is released. Same way, more energy is released when the electron comes back from conduction band to valence band. Is it clear? It means, okay, the energy gap between valence band and conduction band is more. Do you agree this point? The energy gap between valence band and conduction band is more. You need more energy to push the electron from the valence band to conduction band. Same way, more energy is released when the electron comes back from the conduction band to the valence band. The energy difference between the two is more. Is it clear? So that is the reason why, because of this reason, okay, in a very small particle, okay, high energy is released, okay, when the electron falls back. Do you agree? Why? Because the band gap is more. Okay. High energy light. Okay, so that is the reason why when the particle is very small, okay, the smaller the dot, bluer light will be released. Is it clear? Okay, when the particle is very small, high energy light is released. Means what? Blue light is released. Bluer light will be released. Okay, let us try to understand the same thing with this diagram. Okay, this is bulk material. This is bulk material. And this is conduction band. This is valence band. You tell me, this is a very small particle. Isn't it? Very small particle. Okay, in which case you have more gap between valence band and conduction band? In which case, bulk or very small particle, where you can see more gap between valence band and conduction band. Here, the band gap is more. You may get confused if you assume the band gap as a geographic space between the valence band and conduction band. It is not the space between. It is not the space. It is the energy difference. Be clear about it, because some students asked me one question, when the particle size is very small, how can you have more distance between the two bands? It is not the distance between the two bands, it is the energy difference between the two bands. Okay, so that is the reason why, okay, band gap is more, so high energy is released, high energy light is blue light. Is it clear? That is the reason why smaller the particle, bluer the dot. Larger the particle, redder the dot. This concept is called as quantum confinement. So because of this reason, when the size changes, the color changes. Is it clear? When the size changes, the color changes. Okay, that gives these all applications. These tiny particles have unique properties and now spread their light from television screens. Did you hear about QLED TVs? Not LED, not OLED. This is QLED, quantum dot LED TV. Is it clear? Have you ever used it or seen it or heard about it? What is the advantage of QLED TV? It will give more colors and brighter colors possible. More colors and brighter colors possible in the QLED TV. Why? Because when we use quantum dots here, okay, what happens? Every nanometer difference in the particle size, you will get a new color. Okay, with a small difference in the size, the color changes. So multiple colors are possible. That is QLED TV. Different colored LED lamps are possible. And they catalyze chemical reactions. Okay, and their clear light can illuminate the tumor tissues for a surgeon. Okay, for example, let us suppose you have cancer cells. Okay, you have cancer cells, and for this cancer cells you are using quantum dots as visual tags, so that, okay, if the red color is seen, cancer diagnosed. Okay, if the red color not seen, it means no cancer. So by this mechanism, okay, it can help in the diagnosis of the cancer. The quantum dots can help in they will illuminate the tumor tissues for a surgeon. The surgeon can see the tumor tissues and can operate the tumor tissue. Okay, same way, okay, they can be incorporated in the inks and polymers used in the paper currency to prevent counterfeiting. So how do we counterfeit the currency? When we counterfeit the currency, okay, we try to take a color Xerox, a color printout of this paper currency. And when we take this color Xerox of the paper currency, then what happens? We have to use the exact color so that the counterfeit currency looks original. Okay, but it is difficult to predict the exact color when we use quantum dots in the paper currency. When we use quantum dots in the paper currency, it will become very difficult for the people to exactly take the color Xerox of this particular paper. Okay, so that is how we can also use in the stamp papers, paper currency. In all these things, we can use the quantum dots. Clear for all of you? Yes. Okay. Same way, quantum dots can be used in the solar panels to minimize the size and increase the surface area. Okay. So, let us suppose if you use quantum dots in the solar panel, okay, that is solar panels, if they are made up of quantum dots, then you can have more number of particles per unit area. Is it clear? Okay. Answer these two questions. Let us suppose we are using larger particles, scenario number A, and smaller particles, scenario number B. We are using larger particles and smaller particles. In which situation you can have more number of particles per 1 millimeter surface area? In which situation you will get more number of particles in 1 millimeter of the surface area per square millimeter? Okay, when you have smaller particles, it means a very small solar panel can harvest more solar energy. Small solar panel can harvest more solar energy. That is the reason why NASA is using quantum dots in its solar panels in the spacecrafts. Spacecrafts need the solar panels, okay, to use solar energy as the fuel. For that we need solar panels. But it is difficult to launch a satellite with very big solar panel. So we need smaller sized solar panels that can harvest more solar energy. So that is the reason why, okay, NASA is using quantum dots in the solar panels. ISRO is also using them. Yes. Okay. So this is about the quantum dots. Let us discuss the question now. Okay. Band gap increases as the size of the nanostructure increases. Is this statement correct? Band gap increases as the size of the nanostructure increases. Is it correct? No. Band gap increases as the size of the nanostructure decreases. This is wrong. Larger the quantum dot, bluer will be the color. No. Larger the quantum dot, redder will be the color. Okay. Low energy light will be released. Okay. Next, quantum dots are relatively smaller. Yes. Okay. 2 to 10 nanometers. Whereas nanoparticles are 1 to 100 nanometers. They are relatively smaller nanoparticles, correct. Quantum dots can be used in paper currency, yes. Okay, so the right answer is D. Okay, and 3 and 4 are the correct statements. This is wrong. Okay, and this is Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the year 2023. Now, moving on to the next question. Question number 4. Read the statements carefully. You have 60 seconds to participate in the poll. Your time starts now. Okay, the right answer for the question is, hope you are done with the poll. The right answer for the question is C. All the 3 are correct. All the 3 are correct. But first we have to understand what is electron dynamics. What do you mean by electron dynamics? And why are we discussing the electron dynamics? Why are we discussing the electron dynamics? So let us see the core concepts used in the statements. Can anybody guess why are we discussing about this electron dynamics? Yes, because the Nobel Prize in Physics 2023 is for generation of attosecond. Attosecond. First of all, what do you mean by this attosecond? Attosecond means 10 to the power of minus 18th of a second. 10 to the power of minus 18th of a second. Okay. So, these people got the Nobel Prize for the experimental method to generate. They generated attosecond pulses. What do you mean by pulse of light? Pulse of light means, okay, light flashes. Pulse of light means light flashes, okay, not waves, light flash, okay. For example, just a flash of the light, on, off, yes, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, flashes of light. Is it clear? And okay, on it, wait for 10 to the power of minus 18th of a second, then off it. Then wait for 10 to the power of minus 18th of a second, okay, then on it, like that. That is called as attosecond light pulses. That is called attosecond. Say for example, I am holding a torchlight. On it, 10 to the power of minus 18th of a second. Just imagine how short duration it is. Then on it, on, off, on, off, on, off. The time gap is just 1 attosecond. That is 10 to the power of minus 18th of a second. So, they got the Nobel Prize for the generation of these attosecond light pulses. Okay. What was the previous discovery? In the year 1980s, other scientists have already generated femtosecond light pulses. Is it clear? Means on, wait for 10 to the power of minus 15th of a second, then off. Then wait for 10 to the power of minus 15th of a second, then on. Okay, when did this be developed? Okay, 1980s. This particular thing is developed in 1980s. Okay, yes, tell me 1980s, what kind of light pulses were generated? 1980s, what kind of light pulses were generated? Femtosecond. Recently, what kind of light pulses were generated? Attosecond. Okay, which are faster? Okay, this attosecond are faster. Is it clear? Okay, why do you need this faster light pulses? Why do you need this faster light pulses? Let us suppose, okay, there is a racing car. There is a racing car. And you take a photograph of that or videograph of that, okay, using a normal camera. A normal camera. What happens to that photograph? Do you get a clear photograph? Racing car, okay, traveling at a speed of some 300 km per hour. But I am trying to take a photograph, okay, with a normal camera. Will I get a clear picture of it? No. Okay, the picture will be blurred. The picture will be blurred, right? Why? Because the light exposure duration is less. Because the light exposure duration is less. Okay, because the light exposure duration is less here. Sorry, the light exposure duration is more. The light exposure duration is more. That is the reason. So when do you get a clear photograph? What should you do to get a clear photograph? What you should do to get a clear photograph? You need short exposure to light. Do you agree with this? We need yes, the shutter time must be reduced. Reduce the shutter time. Okay, why to reduce the shutter time? Okay, because we need short exposure. Okay, means what? We have to use the light pulses. Okay, now the topic is, what is electron dynamics? Okay, what do you mean by the word electron dynamics? Okay, see, electron dynamics refer to the study and understanding of behavior and motion of electrons within the atom. Yes, tell me, what is electron dynamics? Studying the movement of electrons inside an atom. Studying the movement of electrons inside an atom. These electrons move very fast. These electrons move very fast in an atom. Much more than a racing car. So you need attosecond light pulses. You need attosecond light pulses to clearly picturize the electrons. Is it clear? Okay, I repeat, electron dynamics is study of movement of electrons inside the atom. Can you please repeat, what is electron dynamics? Movement of electrons inside an atom, and they move very fast. Okay, much more than a racing car. Okay, so if you have to take a clear picture of this moving electrons, you need extremely fast light pulses, that is attosecond light pulses. Okay, so that is the significance of this discovery. Okay, so now tell me, this attosecond light pulses helps in understanding the electron dynamics. Summary. Attosecond light pulses help in study of electron dynamics. So, they are used to study the molecular level changes in the blood to diagnose the disease? Yes. Okay. It means with the better understanding of electron dynamics, simply one particular point is we can study about the matter at the atomic level, subatomic level. Did you understand? We are not studying the matter at the cellular level. We are not studying the matter at the atomic level. We are studying the matter at the electron level with much more resolution, much more clarity. Okay, so you can better understand about the molecular changes, molecular level changes in the blood. Okay, not at the macro level, micro level changes, molecular level, atomic level, subatomic level of changes in the blood. Okay, minute changes in the blood also can be diagnosed, so that the diseases can be diagnosed at a very early level. The diseases can be diagnosed at a very early level. They help in creating more efficient electronic gadgets. Okay, because you will understand about the electronics more in detail. Why? Because you are understanding the electronics at the subatomic level. At a very fundamental level, we are understanding the material. So they can help in the manufacture of better electronic material. They can help in the drug designing. Why? Because you are understanding the drugs at the subatomic level. You are not understanding the drugs at the molecular level, not at atomic level. You are rather understanding them at the subatomic level, that is electron level. So therefore they help in drug designing and understanding of the enzymatic reactions at more fundamental level. Okay, so all the three statements are correct. All the three is the right answer. Is it clear? Done. Quickly moving on to the fourth question. The question is right in front of you. Read the statements carefully. You have 60 seconds to solve. Your time starts now. Okay, the right answer for the question is D, all the above. Which of the statements are correct? The right answer is D, all the above. What percentage gave the right answer? 28%. D, 25% gave the right answer. D is the right answer for this. Okay, this is a factual question. Okay, let us try to understand this. Okay, let us try to understand some core concepts in the statements. First, did you hear about the space debris? Space debris or space junk? Yes, and it can destroy the satellites. It can destroy the satellites, right? So we have to minimize. We have to minimize the space debris. Agreed? We should all space agencies should try to minimize the space debris. First, what causes space debris? What causes the space debris? Okay, the used up stages of rockets. Is it clear? A rocket will be like this: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. We will ignite the stage 1 at the ground. The stage 1 will be burnt, and the burnt stage 1 will ignite the stage 2. Like a 10,000 wala garland. The first cracker will light the second cracker. The second one will crack the third one. The third one will light the next cracker. Like that, the second stage will get burnt and will ignite the stage 3. The stage 3 will be burnt and then it will ignite the stage 4. Okay, what happens to these used up stages of the rockets? some of them, okay, will fall back onto earth, isn't it? For example, stage 1 may fall back onto earth. Do you agree? Because the stage 1 is released when the rocket is close to the earth. Okay, when the rocket is close to the earth. But stage 4, stage 3 and 4 will become the space junk. Will become the space junk. Okay, and now what is this? Okay, poem. There is something called, we are discussing about poem 3. PSLV orbital experimental module number 3. PSLV orbital experimental module number 3. What is poem 3? This is the stage 4, okay, which is made a controlled or guided re-entry onto, okay, the Pacific Ocean. Is it clear? It is made a controlled re-entry, okay, onto the Pacific Ocean. Is it clear? Okay. In Pacific Ocean. Right. Now comes the question, why do you have to do the controlled re-entry? Because if you do not make a controlled re-entry, it can lead to some calamities on the earth, isn't it? It may fall on a populated region. It can lead to some accidents, casualties, deaths, etc. So, it should not just come back to the earth, it should be made a controlled re-entry and should be diverted onto the Pacific Ocean so that it will not cause any harm to the human beings or the property. Is it clear? And also it should not be left, okay, in the space, because if it is left in the space, it will become the space junk. If it is just made to enter onto the earth, it may cause accidents and casualties. So what we have to do? A controlled re-entry into a place where human beings and property is not there. That is called poem. So what is the purpose of this poem? That is to reduce the space debris. Is it clear? The purpose of poem is to reduce the space debris, and it is third such event. This is the third such event. Is it clear? And interestingly, okay, which mission's rocket, okay, is brought back into the Pacific Ocean? PSLV C-58, that is Exposat mission. Okay, answer this question. Let me check how much you are understanding. Did Exposat fall onto the Pacific Ocean? Did Exposat fall into the Pacific Ocean? Did Exposat fall into the Pacific Ocean? No. Okay. The rocket, that is a vehicle of Exposat. Exposat did not fall in the Pacific Ocean. The rocket of the Exposat, that too only the fourth stage. The fourth stage of the rocket, the vehicle which carried the Exposat is still there. It is working. Exposat is still working in the space, but the rocket which carried the Exposat, its fourth stage, is made to re-enter into the Pacific Ocean. So this is about poem. Okay. Who is tracking this poem? Okay, so that it will exactly fall into the Pacific Ocean, that is factual information. Okay, IS4OM. Look at here. What is this IS4OM? Okay, IS4OM is system for ISRO's system for ISSSSOM. ISRO's system for safe and sustainable spacecraft operations management. Why sustainable? Because if the space debris increases, then sustainable space activities are not possible, because these space debris will destroy the other satellites. So IS4OM is an initiative under the Project Netra. Okay, for the safe and sustainable usage of the spacecrafts. This is, okay, in the ISTRAC, that is ISRO Telemetry Tracking and Command Network. And it means IS4OM is in the ISTRAC. IS4OM is in ISTRAC and it is under the Project Netra. Is it clear? Okay, that information is very important. IS4OM is in the ISTRAC, okay, and they both are under the Project Netra. Okay, now let us read the question. IS4OM at ISTRAC monitored and analyzed the orbital decay. What do you mean by orbital decay? Descent or decrease in the altitude, decrease in the height, or coming towards Earth. Is it clear? Coming towards Earth. Decay of the poem 3 throughout the mission. Throughout the mission, the IS4OM in the ISTRAC is tracking the poem 3 so that it will not hit anybody. Okay, then ISRO's high resolution imaging satellite Cartosat-2. Okay, use the word which satellite? Second statement. Which satellite? Cartosat-2. What is that? It is a high resolution imaging satellite. And this Cartosat's lifespan completed. The Cartosat's lifespan completed. Is it clear? So, it should be safely brought back onto the Earth. Is it clear? It should be safely brought back onto the Earth. That was also brought back, and that is also controlled by the same IS4OM at ISTRAC. Is the second statement clear? Cartosat-2 is a high-resolution imaging satellite. This Cartosat-2's lifespan is completed. So, it should be safely brought back onto the Earth, because if it is left there, it will become the space junk. If it is not brought carefully, it may cause casualties and accidents. So, like poem, the Cartosat-2 also should be safely brought back onto the Earth. That is also tracked by, the tracking is done by, okay, IS4OM in the ISTRAC. So, what is ISTRAC? I already told you, look at here, this is ISRO Telemetry, Tracking and Command Network. Telemetry, Tracking and Command Network. It is a network of radars and all that are tracking these satellites. They will track, just like, say for example, okay, when a vehicle is moving, we can track that particular vehicle. So same way, this will track the coming back satellite. Let it be Cartosat or poem 3. Okay, so the first statement and second statement are correct. Poem 3 is the final stage of PSLV C-58 EXPOSAT mission that re-entered into the Earth's atmosphere. Correct. IS4OM is a part of Space Situational Awareness Program to identify the debris and monitor them. Yes, Space Situational Awareness. Use the word in your mind or message it here. Space Situational Awareness. So this is to get awareness about the situation in the space. What do you mean by the situation in the space? How much debris you have there? How much debris you have there, and awareness about the situation, circumstances in the space. So it is an initiative under the Space Situational Awareness Program. So all the 4 statements are correct. That is about the poem 3. Quickly moving on to the question number 6, because it's already 8:50. The sixth question is right in front of you. Read the statements carefully. You have 60 seconds to go and your time starts now. Riya, it may impact the marine life, okay, but it should be brought back to somewhere, and the Pacific Ocean is the safest, comparatively safer place to launch this satellite. Okay. Okay, the right answer is C, none of the above. None of the above statements are correct. The right answer is C, none of the above statements is correct. Okay, right. So now let us discuss the question. But what we do? Before we discuss the question, let us see some core concepts used in the statements. Let us discuss some core concepts used in the statements. All these are about what? They all are about the exposat. Did you identify this? They all are about the exposat. Okay. So what is exposat? X-ray polarimeter satellite. X-ray polarimeter satellite. Okay. Polarimeter. Meter means what? Something that measures. Meter means something that measures. It will measure the polarity. Is it clear? Complete focus here. It will measure the polarity or polarization. Just like thermometer will measure the temperature, polarimeter will measure the polarization. Then you have to know what is polarization. For that, you have to know that an electromagnetic wave will have an electric field and a magnetic field. Is it clear? An electromagnetic wave will have an electric field and a magnetic field, right? And they both are in the perpendicular direction. They both are perpendicular to each other. Okay? Like the thumb rule. If one is in one direction, the other one is perpendicular to it. Okay? And the direction of electric field of a wave is called polarization. Is the definition clear? The direction of electric field of a wave is called as polarization. Is it clear? You're able to hear me? Yes, the direction of the electric field. Okay, yes, maybe there is a lag, so I stopped in between, no problem. Okay, I hope you are able to hear. So the direction of electric field of the wave is called as polarization. Clear for all of you? Right, polarimeter measures what? Everybody, polarimeter measures what? Polarimeter measures the polarization. What do you mean by polarization? The direction of electric field of the wave is called as polarization, not the magnetic field. The electric field is called polarization. Is it clear? Okay. So, why do you want to measure the polarization of the electric field? Why do you want to measure the polarization? Because, look at here. Let us suppose there is a star. Okay, this star is releasing the X-rays. The star is releasing the X-rays, right? Okay, so XPOSAT will study the polarization of these X-rays. XPOSAT will study the polarization of these X-rays. Is it clear? Right? XPOSAT will study the polarization of these X-rays. By studying the polarization of the X-rays, it will understand the nature of the source. Okay, so it will understand the nature of the source. I will just change this as, instead of a star, I will take it as some celestial body. I will take it as some celestial body. I repeat the process. There is one celestial body. I don't know what it is. It can be a satellite, it can be a planet, it can be a star, it can be anything. And it is releasing the X-rays. Then XPOSAT will study it will measure the polarization of these X-rays. By analyzing the polarization of these X-rays, it will understand the nature of the source, that celestial body. What is that celestial body? Is it a star or a planet or a satellite or an asteroid? Okay, it will understand the nature of the source. That is the function of the XPOSAT. Is it clear? Okay, right. Then, polarization of electromagnetic waves refers to the direction of the magnetic field. Wrong. Electric field. What is polarization? Okay, the direction of an electromagnetic wave will have two fields, electric field, magnetic field. The two fields are perpendicular to each other, and the direction of the electric field is called as the polarization. So that is the reason why this statement is wrong. It would work in coordination with ISRO's Imaging X-ray Polarimeter Explorer called as IPEX. Okay, first look at this. This is NASA's polarimetry satellite, Imaging X-ray Polarimetry Explorer, IXPE. Is it clear? What is IXPE? What is IXPE? It is exactly like XPOSAT. IXPE also will do the same thing. There is a celestial body, it is releasing the X-rays, okay, and IXPE will measure the polarization of these X-rays and will understand what is that source. Same thing, but it is by NASA, okay, and IXPE focuses on the measurement in the 2 to 8 kilo electron volts. It means low energy X-rays. Is it clear? IXPE is studying the polarization of low energy X-rays. Is it clear for all of you? Whereas XPOSAT is studying the polarization of, okay, more range of X-rays. More range of X-rays. Okay, 2 to 8 is IXPE, 2 to 30 is, okay, XPOSAT. Yes, clear for all of you? So, NASA's IXPE, ISRO's XPOSAT, which is covering more range of X-rays. If the source is emitting high energy X-rays or low energy X-rays, more range of X-rays are covered by which spacecraft? NASA's IXPE is better or ISRO's XPOSAT is better? Everybody. ISRO's XPOSAT is better. Okay, now let us check the statements. While IXPE focuses on measurements in the energy focuses on measurements in the energy range of 2 to 30, Exposat focuses on 2 to 8. Wrong, and it is opposite. So this statement is also wrong. Okay, so therefore none of the above statements is correct. That is question number 6. Clear for all of you? Yes. Quickly moving on to the 7th question. The question is right in front of you. Read the statements carefully. You have 60 seconds time to go. Your time starts now. Okay, it's a simple question. Let us start the discussion. Before we discuss the question, let us try to understand the core concepts in the statements. First of all, what do you mean by GI? What do you mean by GI? Glycemic index. Use the word once. Glycemic index. Yes, the answer is C. The answer is C. 3 statements. 1, 2, 3 are correct. 1, 2, 3 are correct. Okay. What do you mean by glycemic index? Glycemic index of the food refers to the property of the food to increase the blood glucose. Let us suppose you ate a bread and your blood glucose increased. It means it is having high glycemic index. Okay? Or else you have eaten some vegetables or some beans you have eaten. Your blood glucose level, okay, did not increase much. Then it is called as low GI food. Beans is a low GI food. Okay. How do we measure? How to measure the glycemic index? The glycemic index of glucose is taken as 100. So, for example, if a food's glycemic index is 55, it means it will increase the blood glucose level to 55% of the increase because of glucose. Is it clear? It is 55% of the increase because of the glucose. If you assume glucose as 100%, then its increase is only 55%. Less glycemic index are from 55 to 56 and high glycemic index food is above 70. Is it clear? Right. Then there is another concept called as glycemic load. What do you mean by glycemic load? For example, you have eaten one bread. The bread is high GI, but you have eaten only one bread. Beans is low GI, but you have eaten 1 kg beans. In which case the glycemic load is more. The glycemic load is more with 1 kg beans. Actually, beans is a healthy diet. Its glycemic index is less. Okay. Divij, try to understand this concept. For example, you are eating sweet, but you are eating chocolate because you love that. But you are eating only a small piece of it. But fruits are healthy. But just because the fruits are healthy, you are eating some 5 kg watermelon. Then 5 kg watermelon will do more harm than 1 piece of chocolate. Did you understand? The overall load is more. That is called glycemic load. So the GI multiplied by the amount of the carbohydrate consumed, how much amount, quantity you are consuming, that is called genetic load. So high GI food, okay, is causing the type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. It is a fact that you have to remember. Nothing more to explain. It is a fact you have to remember. And it is also something that we have seen in our experience, isn't it? Heart attacks, cardiovascular diseases means heart problems, okay? And also the diabetes is increasing because of the consumption of this junk food or high glycemic index food, right? Alzheimer's. What is Alzheimer's? Alzheimer's is a type of dementia. Dementia means memory loss. Why memory loss? Due to damage of brain cells. Due to damage of brain cells. Why the brain cells are damaging? Okay, due to more blood glucose. Is it clear? More blood glucose in the brain. If the brain is having more glucose, then this high glucose levels, okay, are damaging the nerve cells. Because the damage in the nerve cells, we get dementia, that is memory loss, which is Alzheimer's. So the symptoms of Alzheimer's are because of the high glucose. That is what is called sugar. What is sugar? In the layman language, sugar is nothing but diabetes. Is it clear? Okay. In the layman language, we don't say I got diabetes. We say I got sugar. Okay. So I repeat, more sugar in the brain. Brain cells will damage. So memory loss or dementia. It is a type of Alzheimer's. Okay. It's a symptom of Alzheimer's. So Alzheimer's are being called as type 3 diabetes. Is it clear? Symbolically, okay, it is not an official name. Don't get confused. It is not an official name. Alzheimer's is not diabetes, but symbolically we are calling it as type 3 diabetes. Okay. Low GI food are associated with high HDL cholesterol. Okay. Now let us study about cholesterol. You all might have heard about good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, isn't it? Okay. What is good cholesterol? What is good cholesterol? HDL. What is bad cholesterol? Okay. What do you mean by HDL? Okay, high density lipoproteins. Is it clear? HDL means high density lipoproteins, HDL. And bad cholesterol is LDL and VLDL. VLDL is the worst type of cholesterol. Is it clear? Best type of cholesterol is HDL. Worst type is VLDL. VLDL means what? Very low density. Very low density lipoproteins. Is it clear? Very low density lipoproteins. So now a common sense question. High GI food is bad for us. Agreed everybody? High GI food is bad for us. Agreed? So, do you think high GI food will increase VLDL or decrease LDL VLDL? High GI food is bad. So, it will increase or decrease LDL and VLDL. It will increase bad cholesterol, increase LDL and VLDL. So let us check this statement. High GI food reduces VLDL and LDL, increases HDL. According to this statement, high GI food will help us. Is it correct? No, wrong. Is it clear? So this is wrong. Low GI diets are associated with HDL cholesterol, correct. Low GI diets are good. So, they increase good cholesterol. They are good, so they increase good cholesterol. Is it logical? Yes. So, the right answer is 7C and the correct statements are 1, 2 and 3. Quickly moving on to the question number 8. The question is in front of you. 60 seconds time to go. Your time starts now. Yes, Rohit, it is being called as type 3 diabetes. 10 questions we have to discuss. So, I need 10 more minutes. In 10 more minutes, we are going to wind off the class. 8th question. How many of the above statements are correct? Okay, it is a simple factual question. So, let us start the discussion. And the right answer is 8th question, right answer A, only 1. Which one? Okay, 3 is correct. 3 is correct. Okay, it's a factual question. Don't get disappointed if you do not know the right answer. Once again, I would like to remind everybody, okay, even if you scored 0, don't get demotivated. Don't have any type of emotions towards your test series or mock tests. Is it clear? You have been seeing that approximately only 20% of the students are giving the right answer. That also can be just fluke. So don't get demotivated. Is it clear? Right. The concept here is WHO released fungal infections. What do you mean by fungal infections? Did you hear about this frightening black fungus infection during COVID second wave? During COVID second wave, we heard about black fungus, green fungus. They were giving different color names, isn't it? White fungus. So we heard such names. Is it clear? Fungal infections. So WHO given priority list of fungal infections. Okay, this classification is based on the pathogen's public health impact. It means, let us suppose if a fungus is having huge impact on the public health, then it is called critical priority group. Okay, answer this question. If any fungus is having huge impact on the public health, then it is called as, if any fungus is having huge impact on the public health, then it is called critical priority. Same way, it is resistant to antifungal drugs. Very much resistant to antifungal drugs. Then also it is called as critical priority. I mean most dangerous fungi. Most dangerous fungi. Second most dangerous, I mean lesser impact on the public health and lesser resistance to the antifungal drugs. Lesser impact on the public health and lesser resistance to antifungal drugs. Next, least dangerous are the priority group. So WHO released this particular classification and the examples are given here. Candida auris, Cryptococcus neoformans, Aspergillus fumigatus, Candida albicans are critical priority. Candida family, Mucorales, black fungus are the high priority. Coccidioids, Cryptococcus gattii are the priority group. If you observe, priority group Cryptococcus gattii correct, but these two are swapped. Okay, so only one is correct and the statement number 3 is correct. Is the discussion clear for all of you? Yes. Now, how to remember? Repeated revisions is the only solution. Right. The next question. This is about Agni 5. Read the question carefully, read the statements carefully, and your time starts now. Okay, the right answer is C. The right answer is C. 3, 4, 5 are correct. Okay, we will discuss the question later, but let us try to understand the concepts first. First, what is Agni 5? First, Agni 5 is ICBM. ICBM means intercontinental ballistic missile. Intercontinental ballistic missile. Look at the range. Okay, this is the range, 5,000 kilometers. 5,000 kilometers. Okay, so this is India. Across India, this much region, it means it can cover all our problematic neighbors. Is it clear? It is an intercontinental ballistic missile, right? Okay, and so Prime Minister announced the first flight test, Mission Divyastra. What is Mission Divyastra? The first flight test of Agni 5. Okay, with MIRV technology. So what do you mean by MIRV? Multiple, right? Independently targetable. Independently targetable. Re-entry vehicles. Means what? Do you know this? If you launch Agni 5 here, it will go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What are they? A, B, C, D, E, F, 5 different, okay, or 6 different targets. Is it clear? It means I have 6 enemies. Hit all the 6 enemies one by one and then come back. Is it clear? I have 6 enemies. Hit all of them one by one and then come back to the original place. Multiple, independently targetable, plus re-entry vehicle. Re-entry is also there. Don't forget, re-entry vehicle. So this is called as MIRV technology. MIRV is a ballistic missile designed for exo-atmospheric deployment. It will go into the exo-atmosphere. This is exo-atmosphere. It will go into exo-atmosphere and then come back. Housing multiple warheads Why multiple warheads? Because I want to destroy many of my enemies. I wanted to destroy many of my enemies. Each capable of targeting distinct targets spaced hundreds of kilometers apart. You know this? A-B distance can be 100 kilometers also. Okay, hit A, then again travel for 100 kilometers, hit B, then again travel for 200 kilometers, okay, then hit C, then again travel for 100 kilometers, okay, hit D, like that go on and then come back. So that is MIRV. Is it clear? Okay, then multiple re-entry vehicle MRV. Look at this. Is there any difference between MRV and MIRV? Are these two same? Is MRV equal to MIRV? No. I is missing. What is missing? I is missing. What is the difference between the two? Okay, they are not independently targetable. They are not independently targetable. Is it clear? Okay. So, while primarily associated with intercontinental ballistic missiles equipped with thermonuclear warheads, the concept extends to intermediate variants called MRV missiles. Okay, they disperse multiple warheads without individual targeting. It means they will do the same, but okay, they don't know where they hit. They may hit my enemies or they may hit my friends also. Did you understand? That is the difference between MRV and MIRV. Is it clear? MIRV is each target is independently targetable. In MRV, they are not independently targetable. Is it clear? That is the only difference. So, okay, MRV is not same as MIRV, which is a superior technology. Which is a superior technology, MRV or MIRV? MIRV is a superior technology. Very good. Okay. What all countries have MIRV? Okay. Do India have MIRV? Not yet, but we just flight tested that. Agni 5 is MIRV, but we just flight tested that. We don't have a functional one yet. Then what other countries have it? Is it clear? USA, UK, France, China, Russia, Pakistan, they all have MIRV technology. Is it clear? These are some key features of Agni 5. You can go through that. Okay. Next point. What do you mean by the word supersonic? What do you mean by the word supersonic? Faster than sound. 2 Mach is also supersonic. Do you agree? 2 times the speed of the sound. But we have another word called hypersonic. What is hypersonic? At least 5 times the speed of sound. At least 4 to 5 times, yes. At least 4 to 5 times the speed of the sound. Is it clear? Okay, that is called as hypersonic. Based on this, answer this question. Are all supersonic vehicles hypersonic? Just common sense question. Are all supersonic vehicles hypersonic? No. All supersonic are not hypersonic. Okay? All supersonic are not hypersonic. But are all hypersonic supersonic? Yes. Is it clear? Okay. It means supersonic means what? Any value, just faster than the speed. 5 Mach is also faster than the speed of light, isn't it? Even 25 Mach is also supersonic, but it is hypersonic also. But 2 Mach is supersonic, but not hypersonic. Is it clear? Right. I have given all the background information. Now let us discuss the question. Let us discuss the question. MRVs, look at this, I did not give you MIRV. MRVs can disperse multiple warheads without individual targeting. Is it correct? MRVs can disperse multiple warheads without individual targeting. Is it correct? It is correct. It is correct, but not correct with respect to Agni 5. Is it clear? It is correct, but not correct with respect to Agni 5. I hope it is clear for all of you. MRVs are multiple warheads without individual targeting. Correct, but not correct for Agni 5. So this is wrong. Next, Agni 5 is hypersonic, but not supersonic, not possible. Everything which is hypersonic is also supersonic. So this is wrong. So that is the reason why 3, 4, 5, it's a supersonic and hypersonic, correct. It is a surface to surface, yes, one surface to the other surface. Intercontinental 5,000 kilometers range. Ballistic missile, correct. Agni 5 can reduce the effectiveness of anti-ballistic missile systems. It means enemies' anti-ballistic missile systems cannot intercept Agni 5. Enemies' anti-ballistic defense system cannot intercept Agni 5. So the right answer is C. That is 3, 4, 5 are the correct answers. Okay. Moving on to the last question. A simple question. Okay. Consider the following. Question number 10. You have 60 seconds time to go. Okay. Your time starts now. Agni prime is different from Agni 5. Prashant, Agni prime is different from Agni 5. Okay, your time ends here and the correct answer is, okay, all the above. Which of the above are the applications of the brain chip called as Neuralink? All the above. Okay. 75% gave the right answer. So that is the reason why I told you that it is a very simple question. I willingly kept the simple question here because we don't have much time to discuss here. Okay. So first, what is Neuralink? We all heard that Elon Musk company, okay, through a surgery implanted a small chip into the brain of a human being. Is it clear? Elon Musk's company implanted a small chip into the brain of the human being. What this chip is called as link. What all it can do? It can monitor the brain activity. It can keep studying the brain's activity. It can stimulate the regions and restore the sensory and motor capacity. For example, paralysis. Your brain cells are Alzheimer's. Your brain cells are damaged. They are not working. You can again stimulate them using this Neuralink. To enhance cognitive abilities, for example, a person is very dull. This Neuralink can make the person intelligent, quickly learning, quickly understanding, cleverly thinking, and finally, to facilitate direct communication between human brain and computers. For example, the person is like we have seen about, okay, great scientist Stephen Hawking. Okay, so like in such cases, what happens when you cannot say anything, you cannot even communicate with your eyes, you cannot show, you cannot make symbols like this. Okay, then if your brain should directly communicate with the computer, okay, that also we can do using this Neuralink. All the above is the right answer. Okay, so that's all. These are all the questions I wanted to discuss with you people today. Let's meet again tomorrow sharp at 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much. Good night. Take care.